This is a strange story, even for me. But since I'm going through what some might call a existential moment in my journey currently, seems like a good time to share the story of how I got to this point. As many stories, when you become aware of yourself, and that was around the age of 5, I was sure that I'm not like everyone else. And even believing that I might be from a different planet or something. And since I never felt like everyone else, and maybe because I didn't have parents and I always had this abusive environment, I used to escape to the forest. And I used to imagine these creatures with horns and fur and so on that would come and take me back to my home in the forest. The outfits that I wear nowadays, and even the cosplay stuff with horns and so on, it's just the character I used to see as a child that would come and rescue me and help me. But they never came. And even from that young age, I always said that I will never live past 25. And although a lot of people try to tell me otherwise, I was very much certain. And fast forward to being 25 years old, in spite of having success in life, and I used to make money and party a lot and live in ways that people only see in movies, I was deeply unfulfilled. And I decided and planned and acted on trying to take myself out. Obviously, since I'm speaking, to my surprise as well, I woke up 2 days later, despite of having enough chemicals in my system to take out 5 people. I'm still here. But that is a hard thing to really wrap your head around when you make a conscious decision to leave. So the way I was able to move past that moment is to acknowledge I was successful at getting rid of that version of myself, a version of myself that adapted to the environment and in order to survive was nothing that felt authentic to me. So this new part of my journey started as a journey inwards to discover who am I really and what is life really about. And in discovering things about myself and applying it and getting positive outcomes, I started attracting people that came and asked questions and asked for my help, and I helped them. And since they also got positive outcomes, I got, for the first time in my life, a genuine feeling of fulfillment. And helping people, it's not because I'm a nice person. It's just making something that otherwise is painful, the experience of my life, worth something, because I'm able to give people an opportunity I was never given. And the more I try to learn and understand the elements of life and did the work to restore balance in my life, the more peace I earned. And with peace came a clarity that I could see the path forward. And ironically, the same thing that now guides my life, it's something that for a big portion of my life I thought it made me crazy or potentially schizophrenic, that I could see these things. But only 4 years ago, I finally decided to stop fighting it and allow this internal compass to guide me. And it really worked out. And although I'm still skeptical and all of the information that I seem to have access to in the web of life that seems to sustain a degree of consciousness that I believe more people could tap into. I peer review all of that still with scientific information and double check things because I don't want to have any sort of spiritual narcissism take over my life. And I definitely am not interested in developing some sort of messiah complex. Last year, something visceral changed in me. And because I am always questioning things, including myself, I continue to question things about myself, and I seem to get the same consistent answers. And I'm in this strange position where I address or accepted all of my insecurities, and even applying my awareness of this fundamental truths with the people I work with and seeing people's lives transform in a good way at almost 100% success rate. Now I know that putting this information out there for people is more or less pointless because you can only help people that want to be helped. And we live in an extremely immature world. People are plagued with insecurities. So trying to fight for people that don't want to fight for themselves and just end up being labeled crazy or being attacked for it doesn't really make sense. So I can do my part when people come to me, but I now have to continue my service that I committed to up until the age of 50 when I can become a forest custodian and not talk to people anymore. And yes, I'll continue to learn and explore new things and be able to give additional perspectives to, color in the rest of the picture, despite of already being certain of the truly important things. And now I know that if I want to help people at scale, I either have to try to get power, which I'm not interested in, or try to get resources, because good intentions can only get you so far, and people and money are a very strange thing. So I don't necessarily want to play that game and lose my own balance. And now it's just a matter of waiting for that next big challenge, I guess, or just cruising along, knowing that either way, I will be good. So I don't know if any of this makes sense. I'm still trying to make sense of it myself. But this is part of the journey. I am now willing to trade off my peace to fight for people that don't want to fight for themselves. And I have to sit and observe as I see people being more and more disconnected from nature and suffering as a result of it. But as always, I will continue to try my best to remind people to protect their peace.